Ready? Hello, hello. Love to see everybody having a good time, but it's time to start. Good evening. Today is Monday, November 14th. This is our regular city commission meeting. I call this meeting to order. If I could get our deputy city clerk Latanya Harris to give us a roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Mercer. Here. Commissioner Yates.
Here.
Commissioner Powell.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Birdsong
Here.
and Mayor Densler.
Here. We send greetings to Vanessa Castillo. We'll let Vanessa, if you're listening, get well soon. And Tanya, you're going to do great. So you're going to do awesome.
Thank you.
All right, our invocation tonight will be led by Tony Ellswick of Redeemer City Church, and our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Latanya Harris. Please stand to favor.
Father, we thank you for your goodness to us. We thank you for the city, for the peace and prosperity. Lord, we thank you that it's a safe city. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to raise my kids here and to live here. It's just been such a great place to live. And I thank you for the freedom that we enjoy. And I thank you for the government of this city. I thank you for the past commissioners and mayors that work to maintain and create such a wonderful place to live. And I thank you for these commissioners and for the mayor pro tem and for the mayor who are working out to continue the peace and prosperity of the city. Lord, we know that all government is under your jurisdiction and that they serve to help maintain the flourishing of their citizens. And so I pray that you give them wisdom to make decisions. I pray that you give them unity, and I pray, Lord, that when they disagree with each other, that they would have charity and that they would be able to get along better than like a lot of other places in America right now. Father, I lift up the commissioners and the mayor pro tem and the mayor, and even their personal lives. I'm sure that they have struggles and stressors, like we all do. And I pray, Lord, that you give them peace in those areas. Lord, I pray that they have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday, and I pray that even as they go through the week today, that they would have peace of mind and be able to think clearly about the issues. Father, I pray that you give them wisdom to conduct the business today and maintain this wonderful city. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Next, we have a presentation to Charles Squire Smith for his service on the Winter Haven Planning Commission. Eric, are you taking this one?
Yes, sir. Mayor, Commissioners. I have the great honor, and Squire, if you want to go ahead and come on up here, to recognize Charles Squire Smith for 14 years of service on our Planning Commission. He has recently decided to do something else. So what do we say about Charles? I don't know, I want to open the floor, but Charles has been a loyal servant of the city of Winter Haven for many years, not just on the Planning Commission, but in many other respects. Loves his community, has served his community. We were never afraid that we weren't going to have a quorum on the Planning Commission, because religiously 1 minute before the meeting started, he would walk through the doors. He's early tonight, but rarely missed a meeting in those 14 years, and was, I think, a voice for common sense on the Planning Commission. Some of those meetings can have some debates from time to time, and Squire was always I think somebody that we could look to make good decisions and common sense decisions for the city of Winter Haven. And so we just want to recognize him tonight and thank him for his service. And I'll let him say something if he wishes.
Thank you very much, Eric. It has been an honor to be a part of the Planning Commission, the process, the people that I had met, the idea of service to our community that I was born and raised here and love dearly. So again, very grateful for the honor of being here tonight and of having been able to serve on the planning commission in this wonderful city. Thank you.
Thank you, Squire. Are you good? Yeah. Squire, would you come forward? Let's take a picture real quick. Right here. Okay, next we have a Florida ASLA Award of Excellence for our One Water Sapphire Necklace. Gary Hubbard, our Winter Haven Water Director.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioner. Back earlier this summer, really early August, part of our team was at a conference and presented on the One Water concept. So with me here this evening, I have John Dinges from Black Beat, Pete Settler from GAI, and our project manager, Mike Britton. Of course, you know, Mike's been pushing One Water for a long time, so it was really an honor to receive an award from the American Society of Landscape Architects. And with that, I'll turn it over to Pete, and he can tell you a little bit more about the conference and the award.
Great, thank you. Good evening. It's nice to be here, Mr. Herr. Commissioners. So I am part of this really large, comprehensive, multidisciplinary, all city departments, a variety of consultants in various disciplines, looking at, you know, the future of resource and water management for the city of Winter Haven. And this is both, you know, how to sort of preserve the character and quality of the chain of Lake City, the environmental character that makes this a special place. But specifically, this initiative, I think, has been a real point of passion for everyone that's been working on it, because we realize that the sustainability of our water supply is only going to become a bigger issue going forward as we continue to grow, and Winter Haven is clearly a growing place. But also the resiliency of the city during times when there's maybe too much water, as we recently experienced, certainly with Hurricane Ian and so forth. And so this question of kind of sustainability, resiliency, and the position between the built areas of Florida and the natural lands of Florida, and how we maintain balance and stewardship of water and environmental systems is what the One Water Project is all about. So part of our work has been to start to share some of the things that we've been thinking about and working on with the professional community. We spoke this year, this summer at the Florida American Planning Association Conference to a fairly large and highly engaged group that really hadn't thought about the world in the way that Winter Haven is thinking about the world. And then we did apply for an award with the American Society of Landscape Architects. And, you know, again, with the landscape architecture group, of which I'm a licensed landscape architect, the idea of resource management, environmental stewardship, and again, this positioning of livable urban places and conserved, cherished, stewarded natural places, you know, how we do that in harmony is really a cornerstone of that profession. And so this award of excellence, to put this in context, the Florida chapter may get anywhere from 50 to 75 awards submittals each year. They may give out maybe 30 awards. You can get merit, you can get honor, you can get an award of excellence. Each year, there's maybe 5 or 8 awards of excellence that come out. And so the One Water project was recognized with an award of excellence for its research and for the planning trajectory and the issues that this work is putting on the table for the larger professional community. And I know that this will expand with the engineering community and with other entities out there that are thinking about this. So we accepted the award, and we wanted to get some duplicates for to at least symbolically recognize some of the real leadership that we've had on this project. So first of all, we have to start by just recognizing the leadership of Winter Haven, of Mr. Hubbard, Mr. Furr, yourselves on the commission, but also staff, Eric Labby, that there, T. Michael, there's a laundry list of folks, Keely. So we want to present one of these awards to the city for your trophy case. We want to present one specifically for Mike Brett, because Mike has really been your champion for water and environmental stewardship for 20 plus years. And we felt like Mike should be an SLA award winning recipient for his leadership. And without his leadership, we as a profession wouldn't be here maybe talking about this with quite the fervor that we have. And then I want to give one personally to my partner, and that's actually my direct boss, because I'm a sub-consultant to Don Dennis with Black and Beach. And John, for engineers, Don makes a heck of a land planner and a really good. And we've learned a lot from each other, and I've enjoyed it. So that's all I have to say. I think Winter Haven is fighting a good fight. You're on a great path. It's a wonderful community. But there's work to be done, and we're proud to be doing it with you. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Let's get a picture. Gary.
Thank you.
Chair's not rolling very well.
Yes.
Okay, next up, we have the Aspiring Aviators, an Area of Space Club. We have a city contribution of a grant matching fund. Alex?
Good
Jamie?
evening, Mayor Dantzler, Mayor Pro Tem Birdsong, and city commissioners. I'm excited to present this item tonight. I'm joined to my right by Jamie Beckett, president of the Aspiring Aviators Aero Club. I'm gonna, you can see if you just raise your hand real quick, if you're a member of the Aspiring Aviators. We have quite a few members with us tonight. So I will tell you this, the Aspiring Aviators have been working diligently at the airport for the last 3 years in hangar number 50. Building their program, working on projects, educating the club members about aerospace. And as of recently, the president, Jamie, met with myself and our city leadership to talk about an opportunity that was recently presented. The Aerospace Center for Excellence in Lakeland offered a grant of up to $5,000, and with the hopes that it would be matched by another entity. So we convened and discussed the opportunities that this would provide for the aspiring aviators, and with the recommendation from the airport department to our city manager's office and subsequent approval, we are here to announce that we will be, as a city of Winter Haven, contributing that $5,000 match tonight to the Aspiring Aviators Aero Club. And I'm going to hand this over to Jamie and say thank you for all your hard work, and let's hear about the program and how it's doing.
Thank you very much, Alex. I appreciate it. I have bent all of your ears over the years, many times, about what I consider to be the value of aviation education, because we have Winter Haven Regional Airport. So tonight I'd like to sincerely thank you for your support. This wouldn't happen without you, in all honesty. I would like to introduce the members that are here tonight because I think it's worth knowing these remarkable young people. John Gauthier, if you would stand up. John is a private pilot currently going to Florida Polytechnic. He's a graduate of our program and continues in it. Race Salius up front is a Winter Haven High student. He is currently doing flight training in Winter Haven under the James Ray Scholarship, as is Leo Martin. Thomas Davidson is an outstanding mechanic in the making who has been invaluable as restore a 1945 Aero Aranca champ in our hangar. Joshua Pyle is from Auburndale. This is not just a Winter Haven program. Kids come from all over, homeschool, Auburndale, wherever. Madison Fletcher is the current student president, also actively in flight training under the James Ray Scholarship, training in Bartow, but we still like her. And James Van Vekas, you'll notice, is wearing a Jack Brown seaplane based shirt because James, 16 years old, is not just an excellent mechanic. He's also our first member who has actually found employment in aviation. He does line service at Browns. He helps out in the shop. I actually flew one of their planes a couple of weeks ago and James prepped it for me. So these kids are doing just fantastic. Just to give you a little update, as Alex said, the Aerospace Center for Excellence, which is the parent to Sun and Fun, offered us a $5,000 matching grant. So I came and spoke with Alex. He put me in touch with Mr. Herr and Mr. Stavros. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the city making this matching grant. Because of that support, that starts to create other opportunities. Because of this support, I was able to get together with Chris, the airport manager over at Lakeland, Chris Halstan, and she is going to match us with a $2,500 grant for fuel to go into our champ so these kids can fly, build time and experience without taking any money out of pocket. I apologize, I get emotional. We're not attempting to create pilots. We're not attempting to create mechanics, engineers, administrators. We're trying to teach young people how to set ambitious goals and achieve them. They're doing that. I very much appreciate your support. This happened because you allowed us a place to work at Gilbert Field. This continues because you're supporting it. Alex and his crew out in the airport have been fantastic. I sincerely thank you for your efforts and introduce you to the members of the Aspiring Aviators.
Jamie, let's get a photo with all your members. Yeah. Okay. Paul, you'll go up. MJ, you got more to add about this, even though this was a agenda review item only?
Yes, if we didn't have an agenda review, I thought we'd just go through a quick run through this evening. Good
Okay.
evening, Mayor and city commissioners. I have the exciting stuff now that we're
Okay.
talking about airplanes, talk about the debris on the ground. So hurricane debris, collection began on October 3rd, as you guys probably remember. This is about 6 weeks. We've been doing hurricane cleanup. Our team's worked relentlessly on this, as has the contractors. We've had quite a few of them in our area. You guys have probably seen their large trucks. We had planned, or hoped to be completed with the first pass of large debris around the week of Halloween, and we met that goal. So I thought I'd just show you a couple pictures. It's the kind of stuff that our team was out there dealing with. So Philip Colliers is actually the crew leader for this team, pulling a pretty huge load. This is what, if you guys haven't been by our debris site out of Public Works, this is what it looks like. You can see on the right there, some of that is chipped, and on the left, some of that has not been chipped yet. This is just another picture. You can see some of the big debris that's been sorted out from the smaller stuff. This is about a 2-acre site that's pretty much fully covered. And then that's a picture of one of our garbage trucks there for just some comparison. So about 15, 20 feet tall, covering about 2 acres. Quite a bit of debris, and we've made a pretty huge impact. And what's happening with all that? So you got a big loader on site there, loading in the smaller debris, the big stuff they're putting to the side, but that smaller debris is getting loaded, getting chipped, and then all of those, that mulch will be hauled off site. That's a pretty massive machine though, and pretty impressive to see. So what do we do now? So we'll continue collecting vegetation, but like I said, we've hit almost all the city streets and gotten all the big debris up. There's a lot of new stuff that's starting to come out from the storm last week. So we're trying to feel out how that might impact our timelines. Our team has begun collecting bags. We picked up a lot of the bags that were actually out last week. And then we're starting to work on junk right now. Junk would be just kind of everything else, right? So maybe it's some construction debris, maybe it's some shingles that came off your roof, a fence that came down, dock debris, whatever it might be. The FEMA determination for a first pass has not been made yet. That'll be made, it's made at a countywide level, and under direction from the county's contractors involved in debris management. So the big haulers are still picking up vegetative debris primarily. But once they declare a first pass complete, then they will also shift to picking up bag debris. And if the bag debris is gone, they'll shift to kind of everything else as well. So making a lot of progress there. Like I said, the mulch is being hauled off site. And then the final step is that contractor will then restore that site. So they came out, we met with them after the storm. So that was probably Saturday or Sunday after Ian. We met with them. They came out, they took a bunch of pictures and did some survey work to try to establish a baseline so they know what to put that field back to once the work is complete. So once everything's out of there, they'll work on reseeding grass out there and getting that site restored. And then we will start shifting once we get through all of that back to our normal junk and brush collection. We think that's probably realistic to expect that before Christmas. But in the next few weeks, kind of depending on how much stuff we see that comes out from the storm last week.
Okay. Thank you. Yep. Hey, good job. Okay, next we have developments of note, letter of resignation from city manager Mike Kerr.
Well, Mayor, this is something that we've known about, I guess, for probably the last 10 days or 3 weeks. And so I think my letter is pretty straightforward. I'm going to save my comments until December 12th, because if I say everything tonight, I won't have anything to say on December 12th.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe it. Certainly over the last 5.5 years, I think that we packed easily 7 or 8 years of progress in 5.5 years. And I think that's a great illustration of what this team is capable of doing. I never get tired of saying this. This is a team that is built for the present as well as the future. And so I think we have many accomplishments. We finished all of our projects that we started. We've got another batch of projects that are coming along, which are going to be equally as good for the citizens to enjoy in the future. And so going to Bartow is an opportunity for me to, I think, come in and help a city that needs an uplifting and needs maybe some different thoughts. So I think that's the challenge that I saw as far as having some discussions with the Bartow officials about going there. It was a pleasure to come here. I think that I don't really get into all this legacy stuff, but I would say that if there was one moment that guided me in terms of how I would be thinking and what I would do, is I think that when I came in, I think there were some elected officials, not all, but I think there were some who were serving the community very well and thoughtfully, but I think they had a different view about our team. And so I made it very clear in those individual conversations that I was going to make my own mind up. And that if you could be patient for that, that's fine, but if you can't be patient for it, then you got the wrong person. And so I stuck to my guns. I got pushed around the field a few times. But a couple of those guys were pretty big too, but I pushed them back. And so I think that not making the snap decision about people and sticking to my own thoughts and my own constitution, I think was a significant moment in terms of how I viewed this team and chose to view this team. And never look back. This is an exceptional team. I've enjoyed my time here. I particularly enjoyed working with this city commission. I enjoyed the other commission too. It was a little more challenging. This has been a really good group to work with. And, you know, you're steering and we're rowing, and you're not micromanaging, and you're staying abreast of the key issues and helping us do the same thing. So I'll have more to say on the 12th, but the pleasure's been mine. And I've met some of the best people in my life here. And so I'll have all this to take with me. So I'll be going back to the county seat, and I'll try to get over to the county administration building, rough up Beasley every now and then. But I'll be speaking for Bartow when I do that. Not when I.
Thank you, Mike. Commissioners, any questions or comments at this stage, or anybody want to say anything, or?
I'll keep my comments for whenever he finishes his.
Well, happy birthday. What a heck of a way to turn 70. So
Well, it's better than turning 65.
Yeah, that's true.
Birthday too.
congratulations. So did you have something?
Well, I just had a question. I was going to say happy birthday as well. And thank you for your service and this is my first elected run here. It was great seeing how it works from your perspective. So I appreciate that. My question is really, where do we go from here? So where do we go from here?
I'll bring that up and give some thoughts, because I've talked to the city attorney and assistant city manager and others. And so what we have kind of thought is, first of all, let's see if we have any consensus here about going forward with who we want to potentially hire. And if there's consensus on that, then appoint one city commissioner. Probably I would be happy to volunteer, but if anybody wants to do it, that's fine, and try to negotiate a contract that's acceptable to all 5 of us. And then come back and formalize this on the 12th, on Mr. Hur's last day. So that's sort of the process that we have put together, assuming that works for you guys and ladies on the end down there. So that's kind of what we were thinking, Brian. So what do you think? You got any comments or?
Well, as far as, who is the next person to kind of fill those shoes, I think, I've given it a lot of thought over the last few weeks. And to me, you want a city manager that has the heart and soul of the community in their heart. And I truly feel that we have that with our deputy city manager, T. Michael Stavers. And I think if he'd be willing to accept the role, he would be a great person to fill the shoes of city manager Hur.
Anybody else?
I agree wholeheartedly. I have all the faith and trust in T. Michael. And I just feel that, and I'm a firm believer of promoting within. And I think that we don't need to look any further.
All right. Well, what I'd like to do first is offer a motion to accept the letter of resignation from the city manager.
Okay. We have a motion to accept the letter of resignation from the city manager. Any discussion about not accepting the letter? Yeah, heck of a birthday, wasn't it?
I thought about it. I thought about making another motion.
So I guess I'll close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anybody on the public want to speak to the motion, please come forward. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and reopen city commission meeting. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye. Motion, opposed, like sign. You're officially resigned or officially been noted, so. Okay,
Got that over with.
got that over with. And now Mayor Pro Tem Birdsong has some comments.
I'd like to offer motion that we hire and elevate T. Michael Starvis as the city manager for the city of Winter Haven. And I guess effective December 12th.
Right, okay, I was gonna say we can't have two at the same time, so it'd have to be on the 12th.
Effective December 12th.
Well,
first of all, Mike gonna be here December 4th.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do we need to make it December 13th?
No, December 12th.
Okay,
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
Anybody on the left side, or you?
No,
Got anything?
I'm fine. I just wanted to say thank you for your many years of service, not only to Winter Haven, but a lot of other places. And we certainly wish you the best. And I'd like to say from Team Michael, I think we're getting a very good city manager, I guess you could say. Knowing Mike since he got here, I guess, just about. So you guys have known him since he's been a kid, but
He's still a kid, at heart.
okay. So,
We know training wheels though, that's a good thing, so. Okay, so we have a motion and I will close the city commission meeting and open a public hearing. Anybody from the public want to speak to this motion, please do so at this time. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and reopen the city commission meeting. We have a motion to make Team Michael Stabbers our city manager on the 12th of December. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those like sign, motion passes. Congratulations. Do you have anything you'd like to say at this time, or we want to
I
reserve your
do.
comment?
Well, I just want to say thank you.
Okay,
What a great vote of confidence. It's been a great 5 years. Mike and I have had a lot of fun together. It certainly has been a lot of work. There's been a lot of challenges, and I can say I learned an awful lot from him along the way. Probably learned as much from Mike in 5 years as I have in the, probably 25 years prior in government service. So I'm grateful for that. And look forward to serving our citizens, look forward to working with each of you and carrying on in the progress that we have, keeping the pedal down and getting the rest of our projects done and tackling the issues that lie before us as a team. So thank you again, and thank you for all the citizens for your continued support, and look forward to what the future holds.
so commission, does anybody want to try to negotiate a contract with this little guy over here? You want me to do it?
Good.
Okay,
Maybe he'd rather have a Seminole do it than. a
well,
Digger
no,
do it.
you can't do it. There's conflicts of interest. Way too many conflicts of interest.
As long as we don't put any contingencies based upon a football game as to what comes to fruition.
Ties or wet sweatsuits or anything. Okay. All right. So you and I and John will meet and craft something together, and we'll keep you guys and ladies fully apprised of what's going on, so we can formally approve that on the 12th.
Perfect.
Okay. On to minutes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
move for approval of the October 24th, 2022 regular city commission meeting minutes as presented.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve the minutes as presented. I'll close the city commission meeting, open a public hearing. Anybody from the public like to speak to the minutes, please do so at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing, reopen city commission meeting. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye. Those like sign, motion passes. All right, ordinance second reading, public hearing. City attorney, would you read by title? Oh, sorry. 02253. This is a request by Timothy Campbell to append the 2025 future land use map on a portion of three parcels from commercial land use to neighborhood activity center, future land use. City Attorney, would you read by title only, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Did you want to do comments from the audience
Oh.
before we moved on to our second reads?
That's what you were trying to tell me. Okay. Strike all that. Comments from the audience. I don't have anybody that signed up, but this is a good time. If anybody has anything they want to say, please come forward at this time. See, nope. Come forward, give us your name and address. You have 5 minutes.
I understand that concerned citizen I want to live. And Mr. Hurd, we're gonna miss you. You've been very, very nice to our community. You know, you left a few things undone, so I have to come over there and get you. No. And so, due to, our building on Martin Luther King, you know, you was one of a person, they worked hard, they helped us get the building. So we thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? Okay, I'll close the public hearing and reopen city commission meeting. Now on the ordinance second reading. Item 9A, would you read by title only, please, City Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We'll do that. Ordinance number O-22-53, an ordinance amending ordinance 11-03, the 2025 Winter Haven Comprehensive Plan by revising the future land use map series by amending the future land use on one parcel and a portion of three parcels from commercial future land use to neighborhood activity center future land use, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors and providing an effective date. General location: the subject property is generally located north of Cypress Gardens Boulevard, south of River Lake, and approximately 1,042 plus or minus feet west of Cypress Gardens Road. The area covered by this request is 22.7 plus or minus acres. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager.
The Mayor, City Commissioners, with respect to ordinance O-22-43, this is second reading. There have been no changes since the first reading. Planning Commission recommendation at their October 4th, 2022 regular meeting voted unanimously to recommend approval of these requests. 3 members of the public spoke, expressing concerns about stormwater management, noise, and traffic. Staff recommends City Commission approve ordinance O-22-53.
Thank you, City Manager. Commissioners?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Move for approval of ordinance O-22-53 and second reading public hearing.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve O-22-53 on second reading. I'll close the city commission meeting and open the public hearing. Anybody from the public like to speak to this item, please do so at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and reopen city commission meeting. Commissioners, questions, comments? All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those like sign, motion passes. O-22-54, this request by Tim Campbell to amend a portion of the PUD development. City Attorney, would you read by title only, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number O-22-54, an ordinance amending chapter 21 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Winter Haven, Florida by amending a portion of Plan Unit Development Ordinance O-12-32, rezoning 2 parcels from Commercial Highway C3 zoning district to Plan Unit Development zoning district, providing for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date. General location: the subject property is generally located north of Cypress Gardens Boulevard, south of River Lake, and approximately 1,042 plus or minus feet west of Cypress Gardens Road. The area covered by this request is 41.4 plus or minus acres. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Mayor.
Yes.
Move for approval of ordinance O-22-54, second reading public hearing.
Thank you. We have motion to approve O-22-54. I'll close the city commission meeting and open the public hearing. Anybody from the public like to speak to this item, please do so at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and reopen city commission meeting. Commissioners, questions or comments? All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, motion passes. On to O-22-59, this request by V-Speed of Lake Mary. City Attorney, would you read by title only, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number O-22-59, an ordinance amending ordinance 11-03, the 2025 Winter Haven Comprehensive Plan by revising the future land use map series by amending the future land use on 2 parcels from commercial and residential low density future land uses to neighborhood activity center future land use, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, and providing an effective date. General location: 2 parcels generally located at the northeast corner of State Road 542, Dundee Road, and Country Club Road South. The area covered by this request is 34.72 plus or minus acres. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Mayor?
Yes.
Move for approval of ordinance O 22-59 on second reading, public hearing.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve O 2259 on second reading. I will close the city commission meeting, open a public hearing. Anybody from the public like to speak to this item, please do so at this time. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and reopen the city commission meeting. Commissioners, questions or comments? All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, motion passes. O 2260 is request by V Speed of Lake Mary. City Attorney, would you read by title only, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number O 22-60, an ordinance amending chapter 21 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Winter Haven, Florida by amending Plan Unit Development Ordinance O 07 on two parcels, providing for administrative correction of scrivener's errors, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date. General location, two parcels generally located at the northeast corner of State Road 542 Dundee Road and Country Club Road South. The area covered by this request is 34.72 plus or minus acres. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
The staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Have motion to approve O 2260. Commissioner?
Mayor?
Yes.
Move for approval of O 22-60, second reading, public hearing.
Thank you. I will close the city commission meeting, open a public hearing. Anybody from the public like to speak to this item, please do so at this time. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and reopen the city commission meeting. Questions, comments, commissioners? All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those like sign, motion passes. Commissioners, you have in front of you consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
move approval of consent agenda in its entirety.
We have a motion to approve the consent agenda as a whole. I will close the city commission meeting and open a public hearing. Anybody from the public like to speak to any item on this consent agenda, please do so at this time. Any item? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Commissioners, any questions on any item on the consent agenda? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those like sign, motion passes. All right. Resolutions, R 2246. This is acceptance of a county deed from Polk County. Eric?
Would you like to
Or no,
read
excuse- City Attorney.
Thank
Sorry.
you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution R 22-46, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, affirmatively accepting that the conveyance of that certain real property from Polk County, Florida to the City of Winter Haven, Florida, as more particularly described in the county deed executed by Polk County, Florida to the City of Winter Haven and recorded on September 22nd, 2022 in Official Records Book 12429, page 1605, Public Records of Polk County, Florida, and providing for an effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
The proposed resolution, R 22-46, formally accepts the vacant residential real property from Polk County, Florida. It is anticipated this property could be used for affordable housing as contemplated in section 166.0451 Florida statute. Staff recommends City Commission approve resolution R 22-46.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Mayor,
Yes.
for approval of resolution R 22-46.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve O 2246 resolution. I'll close the city commission meeting, open public hearing. Anybody from the public like to speak to this resolution, please do so at this time. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing, reopen city commission meeting. Commissioners, questions or comments on this? All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those like sign, motion passes. Ordinance first reading. This is a request by Villamar Community Development District to expand the boundaries of the Villamar community. City Attorney, would you read by title only, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number O 22-68, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, approving the expansion of the boundaries of the Villamar Community Development District pursuant to Chapter 190 Florida statutes, describing the amended external boundaries of the district, describing the functions and powers of the district, providing notice of requirements, providing a severability clause and for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date. General location, the area covered by this request is generally located north of Cunningham Road and west of Lake Cunningham, AKA Crystal Lake, and south of Grassy Lake. The area that is being added to the boundaries of the existing Villamar Community Development District by this request is 148.16 plus or minus acres. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
Yes, I'll defer to Eric Lappy on first reading for this item only.
Yes, sir. So as we do from time to time, as we've done before, this is an expansion of a community development district, which is set up to provide funding for the infrastructure and improvements associated with the Villamar project. The proposed expansion adds 148.16 acres to the Villamar CD CDD. So the total size of Villamar is 568.79 acres and allows, has currently 5 phases, 955 lots within the Villamar subdivision. Were platted with the CDD between 2020 and 2022. Chapter 190 of Florida statutes allows the developer to petition to expand or establish a CDD for the purposes of managing and providing infrastructure improvements, public services, including funding. The petitioner has submitted a statement of estimated regulatory costs for the Villamar CDD expansion area. The statement indicates the total infrastructure costs are estimated at $23,969,000 and would be financed through district bonds. Based on the statement, the state of Florida, Polk County, and the city of Winter Haven will not incur any costs related to the establishment of the CDD, nor per chapter 190 Florida statute will any debts incurred by the CDD become debts of the city, county, or the state of Florida. Water, sewer, and reuse infrastructure, as well as Cunningham Road and the future Thompson Nursery Road alignment will be maintained by the city and Polk County, while all internal roadway and drainage infrastructure will be maintained by the CDD. In the event the CDD is terminated, the city will not be required to accept ownership or maintenance or road rights of way, stormwater management, or drainage systems and street lighting without express written consent. All public notification requirements were met, which included 4 consecutive weeks of notice within the local newspaper. There's no direct financial impact to the city. As a result of this request, however, with continued development of Villamar, the city will receive future ad valorem and utility revenues. Staff does recommend approval of ordinance 02268.
Eric, when will this come back for a public hearing? Okay,
November
is it?
28th.
November 28th.
next meeting.
Yes, JP.
Eric, how many more phases do they have left out there? Do you know?
We believe 8 total phases, sir.
Are left or?
They've platted 5. There are 8 total. So 3 phases left.
That's just going crazy in there.
Okay. Other question? Yes.
I may be off on roads here, but the Thompson Nursery Road widening expansion, does that interfere with this potentially at all, or?
I'm gonna use the mouse here so I can point. The Thompson Nursery Road extension will come into Villamar approximately right in this area and traverse through the property and come across the tracks right about in here. And it's a condition of the PUD. They have to dedicate the right of way.
They have to, so
And-
this can't
Yes, and they've,
mess up anything.
correct, and they've entered into an agreement with Polk County with regard to impact fee credits for constructing this section of the road. So the developer will actually be constructing this section of the Thompson Nursery Road realignment through here.
And that would be an over, I don't know what the right term is, but that would go over the railroad tracks. So
Yes,
you
sir.
wouldn't have any stoppage from trains, right?
Yes, sir. It flies over the railroad tracks.
Thanks.
Eric, we had a lot of lively discussion about lot sizes previously on some of the earlier phases. Is that an issue here too? Is this going to come back or have they?
They have not requested to amend the PUD, so we've had no request to adjust lot sizes with future phases.
It was just those particular phases?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good, okay. Anybody else? All right, we'll take this up on November 28th. Next up, we have a budget ordinance, 02269. City Attorney, would you read by title only, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number 0-22-69 and ordinance amending ordinance number 0-21-65 appropriation of funds for defraying the expenses of the municipal government of the city of Winter Haven for the fiscal year commencing October 1st, 2021, providing an effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
Yes, Mayor, City Commissioners. At the conclusion of each fiscal year, the city will make budget adjustments for events which occurred during the year that were unforeseen during the compilation of the budget. We're addressing, of course, fiscal year 21-22. If the unforeseen events cause additional money to be appropriated, a budget ordinance is required, and that's the situation here. If the need for a budget adjustment can be accomplished from shortfalls in other expenditure accounts, then a budget transfer can be employed, requiring only a single vote of the city commission. In each case, state statute requires adjustments to the budget be completed by the end of November. This occasionally is problematic because the books generally can't be closed until the end of November due to the number of revenue and expenditure accruals to be made. As a result, current year-end budget adjustments will be accomplished with both a budget transfer and a budget ordinance. The budget ordinance O-22-69 appropriates the proceeds of the American Rescue Plan, $7,776,962 as revenue in the general fund, and appropriates 6.2 million of these funds together with 1.1 million of other general fund proceeds and 1.4 million of the building fund to be distributed as follows: 1 million into the construction fund for fire station number 4. The 4.5 million for the Winter Haven Recreation Culture Center, community health contingency of 1 million, and then 5.5 million into the construction fund for projects. The airport fund, $145,740 for the flight school, and for the FDOT hangar grant match, $548,004, for a total of I'll round it, $694,000. $2,000 for the Normail electric bill. In the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, Hartford, Winter Haven, $108,000, Winter Haven EDC, $83,000, for a total of $191,000. Transfer from the Building Permit Fund for the 2015 Construction Fund for a future new building, 1.4 million. The city expenditure budget is increased by 8.7 million. Staff recommends the City Commission approve budget ordinance O-22-69. This reflects activity that has required additional appropriations, and this is for fiscal year 21-22.
Okay. Commissioners, questions or comments? Any issues on this? All right, we'll take this up in 2 weeks on November 28th. Okay, any new business?
Are we,
Yes.
are we gonna, I assume we're gonna delay or not have agenda review and then still have the commission meeting on the 28th?
Good point. We'll probably cancel the last meeting in December, but we'll have the one in November. And that Wednesday is the day before Thanksgiving. So yeah, we'll cancel that agenda review for I do with that. So John, if you'll make those notations.
Sure, and the city clerk's office will then post on the website and
Okay.
post on doors that you're
Yeah.
not gonna have your workshop agenda review on November 23rd.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I'd forgotten. So, okay. Commissioner Mercer, you're up. City Commission liaison reports.
Want to say happy birthday to Mike. You're in November. There's a lot of people in November. I'm one of those two. Mine's at the end of the month after Thanksgiving.
Tracy's only 29, then, so.
Okay.
Maybe I should say, maybe it's not too bad to be 70. But anyway, I attended the battalion chief's retirement party, fire chief, and the Early Learning Coalition of Polk County, the Chamber Coffee and Conversation with Polk County's Martha San Diego. And I did the Veterans Day celebration at Lake Howard High.
Okay. Brian?
So a couple of things, and attended this year's lip sync battle fundraiser event. And I'll just say that there are a couple of individuals that my stomach still has not settled.
Well, I got bad news because you
From-
might get more unsettled tonight.
So I hope it's not video evidence, but we'll roll with it. But nonetheless, it was a great, successful event. They raised more money than ever before. And of course, the MC was T. Michael. He did another great job at that event. And I guess next year could be the last year, so it'll be sad to see that event go, but look forward to what could be replacing it and also look forward to seeing what happens next year.
Wait, what? It's going away?
That's what the rumor is.
Battle of the Champions next year.
Why are we quitting that thing? I thought it was working. All right, whatever. I got no opinion. Got no voice. All right, go ahead. You done? No.
Couple more things.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Public safety oath of office, swearing in. We had a lot of individuals out there and up there and a lot of great individuals are coming in to serve our citizens. And so thank you to all of those individuals. Attended the Winter Haven High School homecoming parade, also attended the game, which we waxed Lake Nona. And so Winter Haven won their homecoming game, and that was fantastic and always great to see that. Also some sad news, since tonight's a theme of resignations. I'll mention that the RITS Executive Director, Alyssa Garber, has submitted her resignation as the RITS Executive Director. So I think she's been an absolute treasure and an asset to the RITS over the last year, but she had an opportunity that I think just she couldn't pass up, and that's understandable. And so the RITS is looking, I believe, having their next meeting, I think, is Wednesday. So I assume they'll be actively looking for a new executive director.
When's that effective?
That is the end of the month, end of this month, I
End of
believe.
November.
Yeah.
Mr. Powell.
Being out of town, the only thing I had the chance to go to was the homecoming parade. So that's all I've got.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem Birdsong.
Okay, the homecoming parade, but that was the same night as the CFDC annual meeting. And Trace and I attended that, and I think I mentioned that the business that was presented was a surfing business. They from Australia. It's like a theme park, like a theme wave park for surfers in Central Florida. And we all were sitting there just amazed by that. And I'll tell you who is a part of the corporation is Bobby Green's son. Yeah. I mean, surfing in Central Florida, I mean, in Winter Haven. So that was interesting. Attended the, chaired the Polk Transportation Disadvantage Organization meeting in Bartow. Attended the public safety oath of office, and man, we got a lot of new people on board, which is great. And the thing that amazed me that we had so many that were new at the same time, because of the way it's been done, sometimes we don't get around to swearing them in for some time, but man, all these people were hired this year. In fact, it's like in June, July. So a lot of new employees. Attended the Veterans Day luncheon and program. And Mayor, it rained on us, so we had to have it indoors, but we had it anyway. And that's always good. And finally, I attended the farewell luncheon reception for Adrian Jones.
I
Yep.
did that one too, I forgot.
Yep, I was there too, Grove Roots. That was good to hug Adrian one last time and tell him goodbye. We're not sure when he's coming back, but we'll probably see him at some point in the future. I was the judge at Lip Sync Battle, and that was quite an experience. And I thought had a good sense of humor, but I had a hard time keeping up with these guys. It was so funny. But it's all about the bass. That's all I can say, all about the bass. We cut the ribbon at Destroyer Media. We know Chris and Amy Sexton have been a lot of firsts. They started a magazine. They've started our first farmer's market, and this was the first time we've ever cut a ribbon in the middle of a hurricane. So they get that distinction too, because it was pouring rain and windy and the hurricane was hitting and they were cutting a ribbon. So that was a fun day. Filmed a video. Yeah, filmed a video, thanks to our competent staff. They set up a Christmas tree for me to stand in front of and gave Christmas greetings for the Christmas parade that's going to be happening with us in Auburndale and Havendale. So when you see that show up on the internet, you know it was filmed in November. Went to the chamber luncheon that Sam Killebrew was the speaker. Interesting to hear Sam's comments, and we were able to, I thought, quite successfully, T. Michael tag teaming with me, and we quite successfully were able to express our concerns about the duck hunting that goes on in all our lakes, and he promised to help us with that issue. His staff was taking a lot of notes, I noticed, and so we'll see, but at least we have somebody in Tallahassee that's trying to help us with that. Had an arts and culture meeting. Anybody that has arts and culture organizations that are going to apply for the Sticks and Bricks grant, they need to get their applications in. Now's the time. So that's going to be forthcoming. We also had a TDC meeting. I tell you something, and I know some of you guys went down there to the Theater Winter Haven, the big, huge conference they had down there with all those kids. Yeah, I know you were there, and I sent an email to some of you, and I went down there and gave opening greetings, and that's always one of my favorite things because the energy's so high, and was able to meet with those kids and went back down there and see all those colleges. It's pretty a cool deal that we have going on with that convention. So if you haven't ever been, I think they're coming back next year. You'll have to go down there and check that out. Also went to a meet and greet for the new PEP director, Public Education Partnership. She's a very nice lady, and she and I have scheduled to have a lunch soon to talk about a lot of things, and she was quick to want to have a meeting, so I appreciated that. And also, I also went in the homecoming parade, and I have to admit, of all the parades I've been in, that's the first time I've ever had to ride. Hurt my foot, and I had to ride with everybody, and it was thank you very much. So. And last but not least, City Manager Mike, we are sure going to miss you. We'll have some comments for you, but we're wishing you nothing but a happy birthday, and I don't know, 70 more, but probably 40 more. Well, 30 more. We'll give you 30 more maybe, but happy birthday, and wish you tons of success down in Bartow. And for those, well, anyway, I'll leave it at that. So.
Be a good financial plan. That's all I got.
Yeah. Next up, we have City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Commission. Also wish Mike a very happy birthday. Starts another rotation around the sun. That's always good when you do that. We all want to do that every year or as often as we can. Also want to congratulate T. Michael Stavros. Very good. And I think that we have a lot of momentum, and I too will miss Mike. But we'll move forward. And I don't have anything else to report this evening. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Deputy City Manager. Or City Manager, I'm sorry. I've drawn some blanks tonight here. Apologies.
Well, yes, congratulations to T. Michael for accepting and being appointed by you to be our next city manager. He's going to do an exceptional job. With respect to the swearing in ceremony, I always enjoy those. This class in particular, I think because it was a very good demonstration of how you achieve diversity and inclusivity in your workforce. When you understand the composition of that class, there were women police officers, firefighters, there were Hispanic men and women, there were African Americans, men and women, both firefighters and police. Very good composition. So particularly pleased that we've been able to achieve that in those ranks right there. Thank you.
Deputy City Manager.
Thank you. Once again, thank you for your vote of confidence. That means the world to me. And we will certainly have a send off for Mr. Herr. Maybe we'll roll his birthday into that at the same time. And on the night of the 12th, we will have some festivities for him. So we'll be working to coordinate that. Thanks to Ernestine Davis, who I happened to bump into early this morning. I had a chance to go back by the Neighborhood Service Center. And I'm happy to say the Neighborhood Service Center is back open.
So they were serving breakfast this morning at the neighborhood service center. That was really, really cool to see, and to see how that building has transformed. There's still a lot of hurricane damage out there. We're getting ready to rip the porch off the side of that building. But to see, I don't know, there was probably 10 or 12 folks there when I had gone by, and it was really cool. So after almost 2.5 years, that building had been closed to the public, is now, well, it was March of 2020 is when it closed. So it is now up and running. And last thing, Commissioner Yates brought up lip sync battle. So hang on, don't throw it up there just yet, because I got to get my stomach just right. So just a little background. This was the 7th year of the lip sync battle. So Katrina Hill has been a part of this since day one, if I'm not mistaken. We stole this event from Roanoke, Virginia, after a City Works conference there. And over the 7 years, and I think with this year's earnings, it's got to be what, 240,000? 255,000 raised for Cypress Junction Montessori Charter School and the Public Education Partnership of Winter Haven, which is outstanding. Katrina, Sarah Beth Wyatt, Marcus Wright, if I'm saying, is that correct? Tiffany Gosder, Heather Reuter from our staff helped put that on this year. Dan Chesnicka, if you see Dan, thank him beyond any extent that you ever thought you could. Him and his team make that happen. Past contestants of this, I think this is important because the 8th year is coming up and it is a battle of champions. So there's a little shameless self-promotion here. Former people that you probably know that have been have been on that stage. Mayor Dantzler.
Mhm.
And you did say that the Elsa dress does still fit. So if you want to get back in next year. There was a Frozen 2. Commissioner Yates was a contestant one year. I was a contestant. Heather Reuter, Charlie Bird, Amanda Jo Nicholson, in her quiet little self, was a champion, as was her husband. Sarah Beth was on stage, and former employees Donna Sheehan and Derek Theater were both participants in that. I think that's all of our city team that has done it. Who are you pointing at? Well, I'm not gotten to her yet. Hang on now. And we had a bunch of backup dancers. So this year, Julie Adams participated, and you can go ahead and put it up now. So this, if you missed it, there is Julie as Beyonce. And those good-looking women with her are Scott Eilers. He was affectionately known as Cinnamon
With an S.
with an S, Cinnamon with an S.
And the lipstick.
Captain Mitch Meadows of the police department, looking like olive oil from Popeye, was Peaches. And Adam Butler, who you never hear a peep out of, was Juicy. So they won People's Choice. No, they won audience favorite and judge's favorite that night. So they were part of the group that raised over $31,000 the other night. And that is, again, just a testament to your staff that give back to the community in so many ways. They don't get paid for this. They go out and make fools of themselves, and they do it all for a good cause. So very, very proud of that team. And I will leave it with that.
Okay. Well, we talked a lot about things you can't unsee, and that's an example of it right there. That was a pretty much an ongoing theme all night. Okay. City Clerk, got anything, Latonya? You did great on your first meeting. Congrats.
You.
You got anything you want to add?
I just want to say happy birthday to the city manager, and many more to you, blessings to you. And I just want to say congratulations to our deputy city manager, T. Michael. And thank you to City Commission for your support. I appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you, City Attorney.
Thank you.
And I know I speak for the entire city commission for well wishes, and get well soon for Vanessa
Yes.
Castillo.
Yes.
Okay, emergency matters not received for the agenda. Motion to adjourn? We adjourn.